Chris Ashwin, ex-Bridgwater player of course, due to kick off. They stick with us. St Austell against Bridgwater and Albion. Now, Chris Ashman sort of scuffed it, and it goes straight there to Graham Lawrence. And Bridgwater do the sensible thing and run it straight away, but both Miles Davey and Hector Bright give them a big St Austell welcome. That's Roger Drabble. Kicks long, goes as far as Connery Woodsy, who will do what he always does, which is run with the ball. There's Carl Marriott, of course, player coach. So also move it to the blind side. And Ben Plummer's caught. There's Joe Maul with the first chance to have a little run with his hands on the ball. Going wide again. Shep puts it wide, straight to a charging Max Bullen, but I think he might have had his foot in touch just before he got it back inside. And so it'll be the first line out of the game, just outside the 22. Now, in fact, before that, there was a forward pass, says the referee. There he is, referee Rob Lowe. Front rows of Dan Jobe, Miles Davey and Charlie Nicholson for St Austell, up against Michael Saunders, Ollie Phillips and Graham Lawrence for Bridgwater. Key part of the game this, any club, you have to win your own ball. And it's one of the areas where St Austell, I think it's fair to say, improved from the early games of the season, where they had not been performing at the level they wanted to. That man there, of course, key player, Lou said, Dan Jobe. There's Graham Lawrence, who was Bridgwater skipper last year. A fine game when St Austell went up there. One of their outstanding players. St Austell get a move on, and referee doesn't hesitate to say that collapsed. There you can hear it. That was against Michael Saunders for boring in, not allowing the scrummage to go forward. So Shep will probably kick for the corner for first line out of the game. I think it's fair to say, even from here, that St Austell have a considerable height advantage in Joe Maunder and Mark Vian. And the go-to man's usually Mark Vian up the front there, skipper. And if I had a mortgage, I'd be betting it on that. I was wrong. No, missed completely. And Bridgwater take advantage. Graham Lawrence looks for the safety of Tom Steer, his fly half. And you can see Ben Plummer's just waiting for the ball to travel. Chips ahead. Does well. There's Ollie Phillips again. And it looks like he might know. He's gone this time to Jack Perry. He takes it cleanly without jumping. Tom Steer dummies engaged himself, but he's caught eventually. There's Graham Lawrence, big prop. Lovely tackle by Ben Plummer, I think it was there. Ball went forward in it. You can see disappointment on the face. I think that's Jay Owens walking towards us. No, it's Chris Tong, I beg your pardon. Do apologise if I get one or two of the names wrong. It's I don't know the Bridgwater players, of course. So if I get them wrong, stick with me, I'll do my best again. So, scrummage, about on St Austell's 22 for a knock-on. CJ Boyce put in, maybe hoping for a bit of stability. Certainly has. In fact, I think he's leaving it to Carl Marriott. And then CJ clears, and as you can see, Connery Woods is chasing. I'll see him back. Big favourite with Tregorrick Cloud, of course. A nudge on in the scrum. Gives him a bit of space. Allows Shep to go wide to Max Bullen, who has a clear run into the line, and he's not going to miss from there. The score remains St Austell 12, Bridgwater and Albion 0, with 12 minutes played. Connor feigns to kick, but you know he's not going to. As you've watched him play before, you know he's not going to. There's Ollie Phillips again. And I think once again he goes to the reliable hands of George Sluman in the centre there, skipper. Well taken, despite the efforts of Mark Vine. Double feeds Kerry. The ball went forward in the tackle there, and even Hector Bright was unable to hold on. 2 knock-ons, so the referee bring him back for the first. That means it'll be a scrum to St Austell. There's Jay Owens wearing 12. Playing up against Ben Plummer and Sam Parsons in the centre for St Austell. Bit of a tricky move there. Shep gets the ball with a man, in fact. But they keep the ball alive. And there's Ben Plummer making the hard yards. There's Big Dan Joe. Unlucky. Hit the ground hard, couldn't hold the ball. But the referee's going to bring them back for an offside decision. Yeah, you can see he's pointing at number 8. No arms tackle. That's Taylor Buller, whose brother also played in the game last season, but he's not here today. That ball doesn't make touch, and George Sluman just jinks past Max Bullen. That's a lovely kick there. Tom Steer beautifully there. Just put it over Connor Woods' head, rolled it into touch.
horrible feel. I don't know why I don't want it.
The referee's having a quick word with CJ Boyce, gives a chance some of the lads to take on some water. And you can probably just about make out the trees at the far side blowing from left to right as we look, but oddly they're going the other way on this side of the field. It's swirling around, mostly a southerly southwesterly, which favours Bridgwater, I think, a little bit in the first half. Nice to see someone in St Austell's got the scoreboard working now. "17 minutes played, score is St Austell 12, Bridgwater and Albion 0. Try after 7 minutes to Chris Ashwin, and a second about 4 minutes later to Max Bullen after a lovely run down the wing. And as we speak, one of the Bridgwater and Albion players has been helped off the field. Hard to say who it is from here. I'll check again in a minute. Been replaced by D. Page wearing 18, so I think that must be the right winger, Danny Mahoney. Yep. Just outside St Austell 22, CJ Boyce put in. And from here you just fancy possibly he'll let Connery Woodsy have a bit of a run. Yeah, sure enough, that's the plan. But unfortunately, a forward pass there from CJ Boyce through the back of the hand. Connery disappointed at that because he was away. Lots of scrummages so far in this game, only 20 minutes played. A couple of knock-ons, some forward passes. Conditions aren't fantastic. It's rained a lot before the game and it's very windy. Roger Drabble to put in. We'll have to wait for a reset. There's Chris Tong with his teammate Jay Owens inside him. There are St Austell. Okay, Miles Davey, skipper for many years, of course, and he's relinquished it this season to Mark Vian, who's doing a fine job. But he did have some very big boots to fill. Mind you, he's got some very big boots himself. That's another lovely scrummage by St Austell. They really dominated that part of the game, and all day you're going to get a penalty from the referee. You can see he's indicating that the loose head prop there, boring in or moving him, stop the push. Very difficult to defend. Miles Davey to throw. Will he go to Vian? No. Taken by Carl Marriott in the centre. Gives the backs a chance to run. Chris Ashwin takes it from behind him. Passes a big pass out to Max Bullen. He's definitely got his dancing shoes on. There's Sam Parsons' first chance to show his pace. Shepherd well tackled there by Roger Drabble. Some very good first up defence from Bridgwater. Stopping Tony Knight there, trying to get the ball backwards. Matt Shepherd's guaranteed to find a gap or two in every game. Conroy Woodsy's got the ball, but he's also got 3 men with him. Turnover there from some excellent defence work by Bridgwater. So, as you can see from the referee, knock on from Bridgwater. That means Austell will have a scrummage just outside Bridgwater's 22. Marriott looks up to the blind side, finds CJ Boyce is looking for support. They continue to go blind. There's Anthony Knight again.
Wind them all, man.
He's been prominent in the loose as Anthony. Opportunity. 10 metres out. Taken cleanly by Vine. And for the first time in the game, St Austell get their rolling maul moving. Very difficult to defend against. Very hard. Over the line, over the line, over the line. And as you can see, the referee says, hey, try. Who gets up with it? It looks like Joe Maunder. And Shep adds the 2. And Shep's away. They find Sam Parsons inside. He's got support left and right. Goes himself. Ball's recycled right. There's Conroy Woods, the last one out. He's not going to miss from there, is young Connor. No, he's missed that one. Tom Steer restarts, taken cleanly by Carl Marriott. As Mark Vine stopped firmly by Graham Lawrence. That went forward. You can see the referee's playing advantage, but I think he's saying no, not releasing. Yeah, quite clearly. Referee's just called a halt for a moment. I think he's going to have a chat with injured player, with the skipper, to see who that is from here. Could be Ollie Phillips actually. The Bridgwater hooker. Pleased to see Ollie's back on his feet, limping slightly. No, it isn't Ollie actually, it's Graham Lawrence. From here, Taylor Buller exhorting his troops to get in here. Due to be taken there off the top by Joe Maunder. Shep moves it to Sam Parsons. It gives Danny Tyrrell a chance first up. beats the first man. There's Hector Bright. Shep puts it in behind. Who's going to be there first? It looks to me like it was Tom Steer got there, knocked the ball into touch, so it should be a drop out from the goal line. Now Shepard's starting to go open. He finds Max Bullens, got support inside and out. Attempts to beat the first man, doesn't quite make it, but Hector Bright's on his shoulder, where he's been all day. That's Ben Plummer's broken the line. He's looking for support. Conrad Woods is screaming for it. Mark Ryan found himself on the wing, but knocked into touch there by Roger Drabble for a Bridgwater lineout. That's George Sluman again. Who's the key Bridgwater line-out presence in the game so far. You can hear from the spectators there, Connor unable to take it cleanly. In fact, he touched it before it went into touch. So it'll be a Bridgwater line-out. As we approach half-time, 35 minutes played. Score is, as you can see, St Austell 24, Bridgwater and Albion 0. That is a bonus point so far. Not the best throw, I think it's fair to say, by Ollie Phillips. It was cleaned up by Joe Maunder. Matt Shepherd finds Sam Parsons. And referee Rob Lowe says, and he's right there, he said no, just forward. So there they are, the big boys. St Austell, Dan J, Miles Davey and Charlie Nick against Michael Saunders, Ollie Phillips and Graham Lawrence. And so far, I think it's safe that St Austell have had the edge in the scrummage. I think particularly on Charlie Nicholson's side, where the scrum has collapsed 3 times. Taylor Buller picks up. And their line out taken cleanly by Mark Vine, and St Austell looking to run. Shep puts Ben Plummer in space, who then eventually finds Conrad Woods, who steps 2 and looks to put his foot on the gas. He's got Hector Bright inside him, and you're going to have to motor to catch that, boy. And Bridgwater. There's Max pulling away. He's got support left and right. He doesn't need it just yet. And he looks inside to Ben Plummer. He finds Matt Shepherd, who is not going to get caught from that far out. Sure enough, Shep has the 2. And referee Rob Lowe blows for half time. With the score at half time, St Austell 38, Bridgwater and Albion 0. We'll join you shortly after the break. Welcome back to the second half. Score at half time is 38-0 to St Austell. 6 tries. bonus point already in the bag. And one change at half time is that St Austell's keeper Mark Vine has taken his leave and he's been replaced by Rob Jeff. So I think that means that Joe Maunder will probably step up into the second row where Rob Jeff's playing in the back row. There's Rob, first to the ruck, of course. Bridgwater probably, well, certainly be looking for a bit more in terms of territory and possession this half. Find it very hard to break St Austell's line. In fact, looks like there's a knock on. First knock on was by Bridgwater, so there'll be a St Austell scrummage, and it's an area where they've definitely had the edge in the first half. Yeah, 4 conversions and try already, and he's missed that one. Miles Davey to throw. He won't have Vine as an option, but he just find Joe Maunder. See Joey Boyce looks himself, pops the ball back in. Look very, very sharp indeed. CJ Boyce goes open. Matt Shepherd feeds Conrad Woodsey, who running backwards, turns around and goes in to score his second try of the day. Tom Steer woofs it down the field, only as far as Matt Shepherd, who looks for Danny Tyrrell. Charlie Nicholson, who does not do a side step. If he does, it's the Maori variety, but unlucky there. Ball went forward before Joe Maunder could get his hands on it. He can do dummies as well. Shep steps off his left. Does he need help? He probably does. He finds Sam Parsons, who run in for the 10th try of the game. Which he does. Yeah, Matt Boothby will run there, but hands on the ground, says the referee. St Austell have stuck to their patterns. They play the same game as they have in the last few games, actually, where they will kick the tuck, play in the right areas of the field and run when they can. Even from there, with a margin of 64 points, Matt Shepherd's going to kick down the line and play down the other end. There's Danny Tyrrell wearing a headband because he got stitches last week after banging his head at Weybridge. Being in red hot form this season as young Danny. St Austell's biggest victory this season was 80 points to nil against Wellington. That may be in reach today, but we shall see. Bridgwater's certainly not given up. That's quick hands. Sam Parsons dummies, goes inside. And Matt Shepherd. Forward pass, the referee brings them back, I think, for an offside offence. No, high tackle, not offside. So what we do from there? My guess is that Matt or Chris will kick for the corner. Or tap and go. He doesn't kick over there because I can't see that corner. Oh, Matt. I've been told that Sinners' score has now moved on to Liskeard Lou 0. St Austell Sinners 35. There's Dave Phillips in the background. Do check out the Rugby Club Facebook group, St Austell Rugby Club News and Events, and check out Dave's pictures. He's one talented young man. So Saints have the maul going forward. It's not something they've used much today, apart from perhaps a couple of occasions. It's one of their biggest weapons, but the ball comes out in the shape of Miles Davey. And Danny Tyrrell has a quick look. Chris Ashwin unfortunately can't hold it, but the defence was offside right over there. And you would imagine that Saints will kick to the corner once again. You can see referee pulling down, he's saying. So Matt Shepherd kicks the touch. There'll be a line out just there. Taken cleanly by Joe Maunder, pops it back inside, and it looks very much as if somebody has scored. I think actually it's Miles Davey. Certainly comes up with the ball, yep. Pass back to Miles from the throwing the line out. Scores in the corner. So I missed that one. You'll not forgive me for that. Matt steps up. Here he goes. Watch the posts. And he's missed that one. Score is St Austell 69, Bridgwater and Albion 0. And Tom Steard to kick off. And if the clock on the scoreboard is right, there are 15 minutes left to go. And once again, Matt Shepherd decides we'll play it down there. That lovely kick just goes past Will Kerry, who could do nothing about it. Okay, so Joe Morgan, but unable to hold on. The ball went backwards, says the ref, so CJ Boyce looks for the protection of his forwards. And there's Charlie Nicholson, who's had a fine game in the front row. There's Hector Bright, wants to get in for a third. Goes through about 5 players and does so. He's not very happy, is he? Another big scrum from St Austell. Looks like they might have turned over. Gives CJ Boyce the chance to move the ball wide. Simple pass. Chris Ashwin to Matt Shepherd. Matt Shepherd adds a conversion of his own try to move the score on to St Austell 83, Bridgwater and Albion 0. You can hear someone saying they're working on Saturday. That's Shep's mum, Mandy. Always here to watch his games. That's number 18, Page. Happy to see Bridgwater, despite the scoreline, are still prepared to run and have a go. Chris Tong there, big strong lad. He's again defended well all day, but Bridgwater have just run out of defenders so many times. Trouble looks to Tong again. Tom Steer, chance to clear. Lovely kick, made a good 30 metres with that. Up the slope against the wind. That's Jack Perry now playing hooker. And he finds the ever reliable George Sluman in the centre, who's done very well in the line out today, skipper. St Austell will eventually get them into touch. Carl Marriott comes up from the bottom of a maul. I'm guessing not for the first time in his career. Miles goes to Marriott. Even at this late stage, St Austell continue to play in the right areas of the field. Here's George Sluman, one of the players who've emerged with real credit today. I think they'd like nothing more than to get some points on the board, Bridgwater, and Tom Steer has the chance to make some ground, looking this way. Jack Perry's moved from the back row into play hooker. Well, this is throwing in. And so far he's found George Sluman, I think, on 4 occasions. Short ball. Graham Lawrence couldn't hold on. Bridgwater do though. So they've been tackled by Carl Marriott. No, sorry, Anthony Knight, I beg your pardon. George Sluman kicks the ball, and you can hear from here his comment. Despite the scoreline, they are still attempting to run. That's probably the best period they've had in the second half, Bridgwater. 4, 5, 6 phases, kept the ball, kept it well, and then the kick just missed touch. So Miles Davey will throw. The clock says time's up, but the clock doesn't matter. The referee's the one that matters. There's Roger Drabble on his little run. And Graham Lawrence.
Still want to have a go, don't they? Yeah.
That's a lovely little kick. CJ Bush just nudges it into touch. It'll be a line out about 15 metres out from Austell's line. The best attacking opportunity that Bridgwater have had in this half. And as you can see, the wind now blowing right to left. It's changed. Certainly howling the other way in the first half. Sluman just unable to get hold of it. And Hector Bright says, "I'll hoof it up in the air and chase it. I'll probably get there and tackle him anyway," which he surely does.
You sorted the phone out?
Yes.
Oh, it was a phone, wasn't it?
I bought one today.
Oh, right.
It's in the car now.
We got one over, but it's not phoning that load of wind. So this time we decided not to have it.
Tackle by Ben Plummer, but the referee brings them back for offside. So there'll be a penalty on the St Austell 22. The referee looks at his watch. There can't be long left.
I don't know.
But Bridgwater desperately want to get on the board.
I don't know.
And Tom Steer slots a lovely little touchline kick. Take the ball right up to St Austell's 10-metre line. They will be desperate for a clean sheet, and Bridgwater will be very, very keen to go away with at least some points for their efforts. Referee once again checks his watch. This could be the last play. Stephen can't hold it, but Graham Lawrence gets very, very close. And right at the back of that, Roger Drabble picks up, but he's met. It's really the first time in this game that St Austell had to defend properly, and that's the closest they've been, Bridgwater have been to St Austell's line. Marriott to the fore. You can see Matt Shepherd thinks he's a flanker, and Hector Bright picks up. And you can see knocked on there by Taylor Buller, but St Austell win the ball back. And Sam Parsons will look for support. Backs inside to Danny Tyrrell. One final flourish perhaps. Step from Sam, finds Ben Plummer. No, holding on. And once again, Tom Steeg with the chance. So there's St Austell's try line. Scoreboard clock says time's up. Referee checks his watch twice. This could be the last play. I've said that before, but this could be the last play. We don't really know. Goes to Sleeman again. He's really been the go-to man in Bridgwater's line-out today.
Oh, that
As you can
was unlucky. We
see,
got the punt.
Great defence, boys.
Watch out.
I think Shep's going to have a look. Yes, he is.
Ali.
He's gone, he's gone. He's a chase now.
Go on, Dan. Go on, Dan.
And Danny Tyrrell's chasing that. The referee's going to bring them back, I think. And he's got a penalty to Bridgwater. That's Rob Lowe, referee. I think it might have been against Shep, pushing the man over who was not obstructing him. Here's me saying could be the last play, we don't know.
Seems exactly what they wanted to do. Get down.
Yeah.
A minute ago, the flag was blowing the other way. So Jack Perry to throw. Not taken cleanly. Taken instead by CJ Boyce, who looks for the touch because he knows the referee is about to blow the final whistle. Despite their best efforts, Bridgwater unable to get on the board. So the final score here at Tregorrick Park is St Austell 83, Bridgwater and Albion 0.
Try and